Just about ready, y'all. Gotta turn this thing up in my ears. That way I can hear my playback of the audio. Alright, looks like I'm on top messages. Switching on over. Holy shit, my workspace is a disaster. Let's see if I can't, like, finagle some things around here.
And a double helping of gravy.
Let's see. I got a dropper and a double helping of gravy. Put these Tamiya paints away. Fucking Tamiya. Gravy pie. Can you make a gravy pie? Does that work? Alright, let's do this thing. Let's see. Okay, that looks alright. That looks okay. Trying to get the lights set up. I'm running a little behind at the last second, y'all. Sorry. Damn it. Why you no work, camera? I knew it. I knew something would be up. Let's try this. We'll deactivate that. We'll reactivate that. God damn it. Alright, so here's what we gotta do. We gotta trace this camera. Trace the cord down the wall and figure out which one of these cables is the camera. And then I gotta get on my hands and knees and fiddle around with the bits of this here thing. Alright, let's see. That runs there, down there. And it runs downhill. And then it's the bottom one of these. You know what? Hold on. I'll switch headsets so y'all can hear my struggles. Let me turn this volume up. Okay, so that camera cable runs past the monitor here, down there. I'm tracing it. I'm physically tracing this fucking thing with my fingy. It's this one, and that one goes right here. And then it goes down to there. And then it's right there, and I can't quite see it. And then I can't fucking get back there. This is absolutely ridiculous how this computer just was like, no, I'm not gonna work today. No, you're gonna get all the way into the stream and then you'll discover the problems. And then it's in a tangle of wires here. So I have to like physically find it. See, that's the problem. It runs into this cable extension. And it doesn't look the same all the way down. Alright. Right, that did it. It is now unplugged and replugged. And I bet you it ain't gonna work till I restart this fucking computer. Because, you know, there is some interesting things here going on where, like, you don't change anything, but yet it doesn't work. Fuck you, camera. Fuck you, camera. Eat my butt, you absolute Fucking Jack Clown. Why computer? Why computer stop work when nothing changed? Computer just stopped work for no reason. Anyhow, looks like we got it working. Anyhow, welcome to the stream, everybody. I hope this is in focus. I really can't tell if it's in focus or not, because my monitor is so small. And I'd really like to get the like exposure compensation to not change every time I move something around. I'd like it right where it's at right now. Dark like this. So let's see, how do we do that? Turn off auto exposure. There we go. That looks decent. Okay. Is it out of focus now? I can't tell without going full screen. Is that in focus? I think it's as in focus as I can possibly fucking make it. Because webcams are not actually made to capture this. They're made to capture faces from a million miles away. Anyhow, welcome back to a paint stream here on Country Fried Minis. I'm your host, Cameron. Trying to paint today. We're going to be diving back in on the Proserpina Hussars. I have commissions. I have a commission that needs to be worked on. But I'm desperate for funding this month, so I need to get this project done and get it out and listed on the eBay store. Also, I just realized I forgot my fucking paper towels, so we're gonna pause and I'm gonna go get my paper towels, which are across the room. So we're gonna hit the where's the fucking thing? It's always something, y'all. Always something. Always something. Always fucking anyhow, we're gonna dig in, we're gonna work, get some work done, make some progress on these third Proserpina Hussars. We'll see how it goes. We'll give it a couple hours. Yeah, if chat's dead, then we'll go for a few hours and then mosey on over to the Discord where y'all can hang out in a more personable fashion. But welcome to the Wednesday show where we're gonna get work done. Oh my god, I've got an unskippable ad. Cool. Alright. Let's get stuck in. I'm gonna rehydrate this wet palette. We're gonna get digging in on some gray on these boys. Let me catch y'all up to speed on what's going on for these fellers. These paper towels are a weird size compared to my last batch. How about that? You know what we're gonna do? We're actually gonna cut these down. My good scissors are missing, but let's get a double layer and get these cut down. So I don't know if I've discussed this with y'all before, but the sponge for this Army Painter wet palette holds onto holds onto water too well. It doesn't like release it into the parchment paper like well enough to be a nice functioning wet palette. So the solution I found has been to put paper towel on top of it. And the paper towel not only aggressively leaches the paint or the water out of the palette, but it also freely shared it with the parchment above. So we're going to cut down some paper towel and put it on top. I had a paper towel, but it was sticking to the old wet palette. Okay, we can hydrate that and we can get stuck in, and I will let y'all know where we're at with these Hussars. And get working on that. I think the takeaway here is that the Army Painter wet palette has a really nice form factor, but actually sucks as a wet palette, and I do not recommend it. 2 out of 10. Two out of 10. Let's get it going. I have found some workarounds to make it work. I think at this point, as far as a wet palette goes, I actually recommend making your own. Get you a fucking plastic Tupperware container, a kitchen sponge, and some parchment paper. Getting some flicker. Y'all let me know if the flickering gets too bad, and I'll unplug and plug. It's bad enough. I'm gonna do it now. This camera needs to be unplugged and plugged back in. Let's do that real quick. Real cool. Real cool. It just goes to show you that it does not matter how much preparation you do, because everything, oh my god, why did it reset? What is broken here? What is broken? Let's go in here. Let's scroll down to image adjustments. Let's turn back on auto exposure and get it set here, and then turn it off. Yeah, unplugging it reset my settings. Motherfucker. Turn that gain way down. Alright, so the new update to the Logitech Logi software, which controls the camera, does not retain your settings in between plugging and unplugging. So is that in focus? Is that in focus now? It looks decently in focus, right? Kinda half-ass. Not really, but probably the best we're gonna get. Alright, what else is gonna break in the next 4 minutes? Let's find out. Hello, hello, I get to catch 2 in a row. Yes, welcome. We are going to do a little work on these Hussars today. I'm going to charge forward towards getting these done. I'm in a pickle financially this month. A lot of stuff crashing down. So we're gonna hard focus getting some mechs posted to eBay. So if any of y'all out there are interested in picking up your own mechs from me, keep an eye on the eBay store. I have a whole bunch of lances this month. readied up and sent out. Because, well, the eBay store is generating a lot more income than YouTube, so it's been a big focus, unfortunately. So I think what we're going to be seeing here on the channel is just a heavy shift towards more streaming again, and then trying to get more content out, of course, regular videos as well. But lots of paint streams. Lots of paint streams. So if you like that, if you like to come hang out while you work on your own stuff and see what's going on over here, make sure to stop on by. Like I said, we're going to dig in for a few hours today and see how it goes. And if it's especially dead, we will zip over to the Discord and just do a hobby hangout. Anyhow, catching y'all up to what's going on here. I'm not sure how much we accomplished last stream. I think we got the blue stripes done on these Hussars, and then I did the silver streams in my own time afterwards, hanging out in the Discord. So we've got that going on. We've got the metallics on and hit those with the Nuln Oil wash. And I did a little work last night to get some charcoal gray on these. I thought they needed another accent besides just the solid green, and I left a lot of the joints green at the time. So we've gone in with this Vallejo 70.994 dark gray and filled in a bunch of little bits and bobs here and there, like the accent panels on the side of this albatross, the rings on the feet, the ball joints, the round bits where moving things happen, or like here we've got here, man, what is going on outside? Holy shit. If it's not a touchy subject, is the YouTube mini selling lifestyle worth it? Is the stress worth the fun? Probably not. I would just rather die than work a corporate slave job. I love doing this. I make decent money doing it. I don't need a lot of money to survive. But yeah, it is definitely high stress. I just I'd rather die than be a corporate slave in a regular 9-to-5. I think it stifles creativity and is designed to break you down and make you a cog in the machine. Ironic I say that as I am profiting from Google AdSense partner, so I'm technically still a corporate slave. No, I'd rather die than work a job, and that's like not even being facetious. And if I can keep this going, then I mean, what's the alternative? The alternative for me is working at fucking McDonald's. Unfortunately, I got a degree that's not really super useful for getting work. I kind of had planned on going into teaching in chasing my degree, and well, I was halfway into my bachelor's before realizing that teaching is high stress, low pay, and lots of debt to get into it. So beyond like trying to use my degree, my work background is in hospitality, not hospitality, what the fuck is the category that restaurant work is in? I'd be working in a restaurant, and it sucks. You know, you go to work, you come home, you play video games, you go to bed. You get up, you go to work, you come home, you play video games, you go to bed. Nothing ever changes, nothing's ever fun. Instead, I'm lucky enough to have a system in place that lets me work this hobby and make a little money here and there, and hopefully bring happiness to a few folks out there through content and making available a place for people to play games to escape their monotonous everyday nonsense. Plus, if you want to play BattleTech and can't paint your own mechs, whether you don't have the time, skill, or whatever factor, I make those available for a pretty damn reasonable price. Anyhow, the big struggle here on YouTube is like trying to make things that are appealing to an ever-increasing like brain rot tendency, so that it actually gets pushed to people. Unfortunately. Okay, that is 30 fucking minutes of waffling. And let's actually dig into some painting. Let's see. The last thing I had done was to put a little bit of gray on this Chevalier. And it looks like we've only got gray on the one side so far. Sorry, my nose is itching like fucking mad. We're going to dig in with this 3.0 brush, I believe. Maybe between the two of them. This one's a little more frayed. So we'll use that for the majority of application. This one's nice and sharp, so if we got to do some tiny details, we'll work with that. But we're going to get stuck in with some dark gray. And we've got 5 vehicles left to go. 6 vehicles. Six left to go. We'll get working on those, and then I don't know what's next from there. Maybe a little cleanup on these boys, and then we can get out the airbrush and hit them with a varnish. Maybe. We'll be back. Be back later in the week too. Maybe Friday for some more painting or editing. Not sure what yet. But yeah, things are happening here. I just I've been working on eBay stuff, eBay and Fiverr, and doing a piss poor job of documenting any of it for y'all. But we're back. We're back here. I got some stuff coming out. I'm working on the Crescent Hawks video, and then we'll also do trying to get out 2 videos this month. Get back in the flow, and we'll be heading into a summertime of painting, encouraging y'all to paint on your own time, on your own summer breaks. Let's see what you got. We've got a challenge live right now on the Country Fried Minis Discord to paint up a bull shark as a shark. Do a nice try hard paint job. So if you want to get in on that, make sure to sign up on the Discord, link in the description down below. We'd love to see what you got going on. I see Comstar's back with the gambling addiction. Welcome, Comstar. Let's get going. I think we'll zoom this in maybe.
And a double helping of gravy.
Yeah. So the mentality here for the charcoal panels is to do enough that it is a clear tertiary color, but not enough that it breaks up the green entirely. So I think for a lot of these, we're going to be just doing a few panels here and there. And I think on the Chevalier, we might even just do the 2 panels that we've done on the other side. I may have over-thinned that. It looks like it. And then it's this one right here. Yeah, that is... How is it that 1 drop of water was too much water?
I am the cream, yeah. The cream of the crop. And there is no one that does it better.
All right. We'll do 2 thin coats since the paint is too thin. So let's put some here, and we'll go to the other side and do a second coat over here from what we started. I was basically hanging out, playing some video games in the Discord and doing a little paint in between each round. And made some decent progress, but we're not quite done with the gray on these tanks. I think I'm gonna have to add more paint. I gotta add more paint. 1 drop of water was too much water. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Alright, that is 600 gamble messages. Holy shit. I had to scroll 40 messages up to see your heyo, Mr. Comstock. Holy shit. It's such a basic skill, but I still find myself adding too much or too little water. Yeah, just 1 drop. No worries. Just be aware that when spamming gamble, I will have to scroll back through it to see if I've seen anything. You guys are just gonna have to get in a spam fight yourselves. Have you cracked over into a trillion yet? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, you're actually in the same vein. Any tips for glazing in whites or super light colors? That's a good question. My go-to solution is, for white specifically, is Liquitex white ink. Holy moly, the white balance. Can we get that working decently? Image adjustments. Auto white balance. No, that was not correct. Do I bring the gain down? Let's do exposure -8 and let's reduce that gain some. Let's see what that's gonna look like now for our other mix. It's real dark now, ain't it? You know, honestly, I think what I want in a camera at this point is just, I want the camera in my phone in a webcam. And honestly, this webcam was $200. It should perform like 10 times as much. Nah, still in the billions. Yeah, so I mix in inks for white because white just sucks. I think something you run into in adding white is just that our white pigment that is used, titanium dioxide, is just a large molecule. So even the finest quality white pigment, it still has like a chalky quality to it. and you're always going to get that. The idea, I think, is to minimize it as much as possible, and try to use grays, try to use finer, thinner pigments where you can. That's why I like the acrylic ink. And unfortunately, it's going to kind of break down quite a bit. So as far as glazing, oh my god, that's got to stop. I gotta respond to this client who has really bad timing really quick, y'all. I'm not even gonna fucking respond to him, actually. I'm just gonna turn this phone into do not disturb mode so I don't hear it. Good afternoon. So you're having to fidget with the settings in your webcam. They usually have trouble with very light colors and white. Yeah, it's been a nightmare, and honestly, I think the biggest hang up with it here is the is there a way I can show y'all what's going on? I don't have a keyboard on this computer, and it's not like a full setup. It's just I got a little tiny, it's like that big, little tiny monitor on the wall here, so it's a pain, and it also happens to catch all the reflections, so I got to lean in on it. It has been a constant battle, and the latest update for Logi Tune has made it where evidently it doesn't retain your settings if you unplug and replug the camera, which I've got to regularly do because it loses its settings. You're catching yet another typical day here on Country Fried Minis of waffling and struggling with technology and battling notifications, never actually getting any paint done. But through it all, we will get some paint done. Just wondering what setting it is doing that is like all the auto settings are off. I wonder why things are changing. Auto white balance is off, auto exposure's off. Maybe turning on high dynamic range will help. I really don't know. That time that got taken off that led to updates has affected things. Okay, we're back at it though, and we've got, I think, just these two panels on the Chevaliers. That is probably enough. These might be a good poster boy to have the green showing. I thought about doing this whole plate on the front in charcoal, but it might be a little too much. Proserpina Hussars are supposed to be green after all. I used to have to film lighter colored minis in lower light. It's a pain in the... Yes. Yes, indeed. Oh, yeah. My settings... Well, admittedly, they're a little easier to control on the phone as compared to the webcam. I swear I will find a good webcam setting eventually for this. I'm honestly thinking that just a phone, just like a secondary phone for the live stream would work. Okay, where do we want the gray panels for our darters? I'm kind of thinking these two things right here, this and that. Yeah, I want to do a less is more approach here. I want it on there to be uniform, but not overwhelming. Like, this is definitely an accent color more so than like a part of the color scheme. So let's go with just a bit here and there. Yeah, I think that's plenty. Let's do the second one. This set is going to go up again on the eBay store soon. I really want to play a game with it. But they will also be available as photogrammetry models for the module. So if you want to play a game with them yourself with no financial investment, download the Country Fried Minis Country Fried Mercs module for Tabletop Simulator. I should start including the links for that, honestly. And if you're a Discord member, if you're a community member, there's a super special edition with black bases. The bestest of base colors. Howdy, welcome Iron Elemental. Hope you're doing well today. We are, as usual, going through plenty of struggles over here. But things seem to be sailing now. Okay, so where is our artillery truck gonna get some gray? I'm kind of thinking maybe the fenders, because I really don't like the way the silver's spilling over on it. So let's do the fenders in gray, and then maybe one more panel somewhere. Get them gray fenders, cover that over. Let's do the fenders. Try to pick that out right there. We could do the step ladder while we're at it too, in gray. That looks all right. Get it on the inside there as well. Yeah. I think maybe I want something that's kind of even. Maybe we'll do the shroud on this cannon.
Iron Elemental donated $11.38 super chat. I'm doing kinda meh. Cheer me up, mister.
Meh. Cheer me up, mister. Hold on. Hold on. Here's what we'll do. Give me just a second. We're gonna say it's here we go. Let's hit that button. All right. I'm going to butcher the hell out of this. Meneer Iron Elemental, Heath Sealsvarden, Sommigen zeggen dat het de grootste verzameling ekrotisvaarden is. I hope that was half legible. Legible? I don't think that's the word. What's the intelligible, I think is the term I was looking for. Oh my goodness. This thing is kind of blowed out, isn't it? Let's make it not blowed out. Make it not blowed out. Let's turn off. Let's drop the HDR. Let's bring down. I think I maybe just have to like write down my settings maybe. I think maybe I have to write down my settings. Let's try to do lower exposure with more gain. Is that, like, can we see that? Can we see that? How's this look if we do that? So I think the light over here is just like getting picked up big time. This light here. What happens when we just cut that off? That's almost usable. What happens when we cut this one off? Does that now become like visible to y'all? Dragons. That was gibberish, but it's the thought that counts. Is that like... How's this look here? It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. The big change that's happened with the lighting is the front of my softbox lights, my diffusers, have just dry rotted. The corners have dry rotted, so they no longer hang on the thing anymore. So we just have these raw bulbs now. You can see it pretty well. Got a lot better with whatever you did. Way better actually now. Was that better then? Is this actually like, if I cut these off, can we see better? What do we think, chat? What do we think, chat? Is that actually a better situation? It seems to like less light. Let's try it for a bit. Let's try it for a bit. I gotta have these on for filming, unfortunately. But you can see like the way the light hits my hand there that it's with the other two lights it looks washed out. Yeah, it is true. Let's try this for a bit. Let's try this for a bit. And see how it goes. Put a red light on it.
Tyler
please. I don't have a
Stembridge
red
donated a $10 super chat. Put a red light on it, please. Sloth, 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 sloth.
Sloth, 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 sloth. Thank you for the generous dono, Tyler. Holy moly. I don't have a red light over here, unfortunately. I do have a UV light I could do, but I don't think that's going to create the same effect. But you know, I'm not filming today, so we can work with this. I can half-ass see what's going on. I can half-ass see, so we can work with it. We can work with this. I'll work out a solution. I think maybe I just have to try to get the diffusers working for these bulbs here again. Red light district at Seafoff, yeah. One light will be good? I don't know. This is like the main light, and it's really It is definitely really washing it out, isn't it? Let's try just the one. Let's try just the one. Plus, I can see a little better with this angle coming in here. I think this is just indicative of a need to upgrade. Need to upgrade the setup here so we can get some better solutions. All investments that will get made eventually. It just, you know, it takes funds, it takes time. And it slowly gets done, here and there, a little bit at a time. We'll maybe upgrade to a phone. If I had a way to basically capture this with my phone and send it to the computer, that would be fucking awesome. But I also use the phone for filming. Okay, so here I think what we're going to do is choke on dust first off. New time. I know that feeling always feels like a slog to get newer and better equipment. Oh yeah. It's been, what, about a year now on this Brio? And a lot of research went into it. And it turns out that all the qualities that make it good don't really work with trying to film not faces. It's like a really, really, really good camera for faces. But basically only for faces. It actually is really bad at filming a desk. And I don't know, I find it kind of remarkable that there's not a easy to find webcam that is more geared for doing this kind of thing. Would be a really cool product to have. Faces and weens, weirdly enough. So you need a second phone instead of a new webcam? See, even that, Mr. Mental, I don't really know. Because I don't know if there's a good solution. If I had a phone here, I really don't know if there's a great solution to send that signal to the computer to pipe into OBS. So my full setup here, I've got a computer in the corner here that is set up to run OBS, and then I'm sending this scene through network device interface through the network to my other machine, and then OBS is running on the stream computer over there. That's because faces are often dickheads anyways. It's the same for a camera. Yes, one and the same. Faces, penises. What's the difference? Looks the same to me. And now I have a mental image of a penis with a human head for the tip. Thanks, chat. Thanks, chat. People in this are like a niche and a niche for streaming a YouTube videos. It kind of bites. Yeah, exactly. Though, you know, I think it's got to be done. Someone's got to put that out there, and I can really appreciate the niche. I feel like, obviously, I like painting things other than BattleTech, but the community has really insisted on BattleTech after Big Urban Beck. But now I'm kind of happy with the niche, honestly. I can't really think of too many other folks out there who are doing so much work with 3D printed BattleTech stuff. Like, I have no problem painting catalyst and iron wind metals. I love iron wind metals, actually. They're my favorite. But I think giving a voice to the third-party proxies is important. So I'll happily dig into it. At least until someone shuts me down. Honestly, I'm just really happy that YouTube allows for this thing to happen. It has been a tremendous amount of fun. And there's some really cool folks in the community. And speaking of, if you're not already a member of the Country Fried Minis community, make sure to come sign up at the Discord and please share with us what you got going on, because at its core, that's what we care about. We want to see what you got going on. We want to heap praise and critique alike, and maybe even hang out with you in voice chats. Come on through, sign up over the Country Fried Minis Discord, share your work. We want to see what you got. And I speak for the entirety of the community. There's a lot of love for the hobby in this small little space full of a bunch of weirdos. When are you gonna paint a sloth? You find me a fucking sloth, Mr. Tyler. You find me a good sloth STL, maybe like a sloth warrior. I'll do one soon. That and dick jokes, yes. Seeing the third-party BT products is one of my favorite parts of the channel. That and dick jokes, yes. Well, that's because Battletech is pretty awesome. It isn't micro armor, which is teensy a mini. 28mm scale minis are just weirdly proportioned. Yeah, that's fair. I do like the micro armor stuff, but honestly, I feel like getting into that would be even further into niche territory. Like big time. Heck yeah. Yeah. Keep an eye out. Mr. Stambridge, let me know. And bad Swedish. Ah, yes. Whose fault is the bad European languages? Do we blame Iron Elemental? It's your fault, Mr. Mental. Okay. One more time. Speaking of third party, we do have a challenge going on right now. If any of y'all out there want to get in on it, if you check the Country Fried Minis Discord, we have a monthly pro paint section. We're going to be doing our first challenge this month. Everybody should paint a bull shark. That is actually really poorly focused. We're painting bull sharks. This one is the bull shark by White Rook Studios. This STL is, I think it was $7, and you get all the variants. Sylogy does one for $2, and if any of y'all out there need one, get in there soon and let me know, and I can source one to you through the mail. But the monthly pro paint, everyone needs to try hard a bull shark and paint it to look like a shark, however you wish to interpret that, and post it. We'll critique them at the end of the month, or at the start of July. I can mail you a few metal sloths I have sitting around. Oh, that's awesome. I do have some metal minis floating around that need to get painted. I love metal minis. How about this unseen Ostrock waiting on a Death Commando's paint job? Or Big Boy Mackie awaiting a little bit of work as well. Yeah, I got some really fun ones. I actually have a set here. Let me get a little teaser for y'all. I just got to walk across the room. You guys can enjoy my cluttered eBay table in the meantime. I just got my hands on Grenadiers, the best of Julie Guthrie Women of Adventure metal figure set. In fact, I kind of want to film opening this up, to be honest. I got the metal sloths for an Alpha Strike army I was going to do for a client, and the client backed out on me. Interesting. Oh wait, metal sloths, you're talking battle armor. Yes, that's actually genius. Holy shit, we could do metal sloths. We could do sloth battle armor to satisfy Mr. Stembridge's desire for sloth. All right, yeah, we're gonna do an unbox real quick. I'm gonna film this. ADHD powers activate because I want to show you all this stuff and show you the kind of stuff I like to do other than BattleTech. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna pull this camera's zoom out, and then I'll show you guys what I love about miniatures, and I'll film this real quick. So I'm gonna go grab my tripod. I got the camera here, and then we'll get stuck in on that. So one more time, back across the room. I need a knife. Actually, I say I need a knife. I need this knife because of, well, because what other knife would I use? What other knife would I use here? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I cannot believe I found this. I was looking for it for a little while, and I found a shrink-wrapped copy, and these are going to be a mini series of D&D minis over the next few months. Bam. Let's do pro video, and record unboxing this thing. All right. Can I get to a position where this whole thing is viewable? Yeah, I think so. All right. So turn on the camera. We're going to show the best of Julie Guthrie's Women Adventure metal figure set in shrink wrap, straight out of 1992. And we got our big ass fucking honking Bowie knife. And we're going to get in there, and we're going to give it a little slit down the side there. Let's take a peek at what's inside this thing. Opening the shrink wrap. I actually had some concerns about this because it feels a little lightweight for what it is. But let's open up a classic Grenadier box and show y'all the good stuff. What is this hung on? There we go. All right. So, Grenadier minis, classic D&D stuff. New in pack. We got inside the Swordmaster, the Elven Archer, the Barbarian, the White Witch, the Black Sorceress, the Cleric, the Rogue, and the Fighter. Oh yeah, they're all there. It's fabulous little minis. Fabulous tiny 20mm scale. Yeah, so if you guys like painting minis, you got guys like seeing weird niche stuff, super niche, keep an eye out for stuff like this. Nice little video that nobody will watch except for y'all. Should be fun. Should be really, really fun. And you know, more stuff. We got some Games Workshop stuff coming up. We got some BattleTech stuff coming up. We got all kinds of minis. Why can't I scroll? Oh my god, it set my chat all the way back. Okay, McDundit, yeah. Knife hand like the karate move, exactly. Ironwind Metal Sloth, hell yeah. Yes, indeed. Yep, so we'll be sending these out, and then at the end, I think I might even have some Julie Guthrie, a mini or two to give away to chat to viewers afterwards. But yeah, stuff like this. It ain't just BattleTech around here. It is really fun, niche, bizarre shit. Where are you gonna go? Right up here. Alright, so with that, it's a Nate, also Popcat. Welcome. Hot, but not in barrel. How hot is it, Mr. Nate? How hot is it? Alright, let's go back down to one light. Is that what we were doing? Just the one? Were we doing one or none? I can't remember. I cannot remember for the life of me. I think we were doing the one, right? Okay, we'll pull this back in. I think what we're going to do now is we're going to take our dark gray, our Vallejo dark gray, really good color, big recommend. And I think we're going to mix in some silver gray, perhaps. Weather for Knoxville. Conditions are sunny with a temperature of 88 degrees F, 31 C. The wind is blowing from the east-southeast at 1 mile per hour, and the current humidity is 41%. Cool. That sounds like a pretty lovely day, honestly. Shorts weather. Shorts and a t-shirt even. Alright, let's get this good and shook up. I think it's time to dig into Oni Lab. Oni Lab's clocking in, y'all.
We're talking about the thugs. T is for terrible. H is for hell. U is for ugly. And G is for jail. Cause a thug can't spell.
It can't spell. You hear that Appalachian twang coming off of Mr. Tracy Smothers there. Alright. I think we're going to do a single drop of silver gray in our puddle. And now we do want this a little thinner. So we're going to go ahead and add in the smallest drop we can manage right on top of that new paint. Let's bust back out our number 2 liner. Nice fluffy tip there. It's a little crusty actually. Let's fix that with a quick little acetone wash and get stuck in. Mixing and painting. I think we're just going to do one layer of highlights on these. Again, I was kind of talking about this last time, that this is more... these are a little more corner cutty than your typical paint job around here. G is for Hephagonous, 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 Hephagonous. What is that? What is Hephagonous? That I am surely saying perfectly correct. I have to know, Mr. Mental. What are you saying to me? Oh. G is for jail.
Gevangenis. Gevangenis. Gevangenis.
Gevangenis. Gevangenis. Ah, yes. Go directly to gevangenis. I am still convinced. Y'all don't... These are not real words. I'm convinced more and more and more that you folks are just trolling the world. Okay. So we got our I think it's about a 2-to-1 ratio of the dark gray to our silver gray. So we'll set this off to the side. And we're going to go back into our mix, and anywhere that got our previous treatment. In fact, let's zoom in. Let's get this zoomed even further in. How far can I go in? What if I pull it all the way? Yeah, that might be a little better. We're going to get in, and we're going to do some rough highlights. I don't need it to be super smooth. Just kind of on the upward facing areas. Just a little bit here and there, because we're going to be hitting these with the enamel wash later, and that's going to do all our heavy lifting for the shadows. So we're not too worried about this being super neat and tidy. We just want it there, right? Just like we did with the blue. So we're gonna find our panels, just give it a nice little touch. Obviously we'd clean this up a lot more if we're going display quality, but this isn't about display quality. This is about tabletop plus is kind of what we're going for. Just gonna find those upwards facing edges and put a little bit of a shine on them. Make them shine like a dog stick in the moonlight. The bed doth call. Have a good night, Yents. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for stopping by, Derek. I hope you have a good sleeping. All right. Again, we're just gonna give a nice little streak of color on all these sharp edges that are kind of upwards facing. Hit this Jingao. This is Highland Blues Jingao. I actually really don't like this model too much. I really like the work on the torso, but he kind of just slapped it on top of a catapult. These are just catapult legs, and it sits way too far back on the chassis. If I was sculpting this, I would have shifted this whole thing back a little bit. I may yet go in and adjust it a bit. It looks a little silly, but no, silliness is fine. And if y'all don't believe silliness is fine, just look at some old school Iron Wind medals. All right, we'll do that. We will do a little bit here. I'm not even worried about like upwards facing at this point. I'm just getting it on those sharp edges at this point. Is that in frame? Decently. Still at work, but hey there, nerd bro painting. Better silly than wonky. Yeah, exactly. Silly better than wonky. This one's a little silly and wonky though. La, la, Wow. This man is working. Nathan, all he do is work. Getting them hours in. She kind of like it though. Or at least that's what the song claims. Right? Okay. A little bit here, a little bit there. Just enough to make it stand out. Just enough to demonstrate that it has light and shadow. Who did that? Is it Nightbot? I want a Popcat. Let's do it. Ow. Redeem Popcat. A little bit here too. I'm trying to keep this in frame, but I might be screwing it up. Who's responsible for this? Another Nate? No. No. Wonky's what happens when I put the legs on and get the glue set and realize the mini looks like it's 12 shots deep in a whiskey blender. Ah, yes. A whiskey blender. Is that when you start doing a model? You start making a 3D model and you do a shot every time you add a shape? Add a new mesh, add a cube, take a shot, reshape it, add a cube, take a shot, reshape it, add a sphere, take a shot, reshape it. Ooh, there we go. There's the first set for the day. Thank you, Mr. Nathan. Got it.
Bye, everyone. She can go on forever.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Back up. Back up we go. Back up we go. That's the first set, if you can believe it. Boom. Pow. Thank you for your concern about my noodle arms, Mr. Nathan. All right, lads, I'll catch y'all in the fast lane. See you later, mister. We'll be around. Make sure to let us know if you find any paper tubes. All right. Where are we at? We're working on the Raijin. Raijin's got a few little panels. I'll hit this one right here. Pow, pow. Hit that. To the top of these spheroid thingies. Right there. Yep. And then we got like these weird tank things on the back. I think we're gonna hit the strap kind of looking things. And then we'll do like a little bit of a highlight down the center. Just a bit. And on that outer edge in the same kind of spot. Pow, pow, pow. Excellent. And we've got the mechanical bits here. Get a little love. Right there. Right here. Who's next on this? these little thingamabobs. Try to get some here. Just that upwards facing edge. This needs some too. Bam. I'm gonna put a little extra on the top there. Same here. Across the top of that and underneath. Then over the top. And then these things right here. And that's our Raijin highlighted. Bam! None today, but I found a stash last week. Ah, yes. Tell you what I think about your noodles arms pie. Fucking A, you guys are charging towards that pie, and I don't like it. I think you're gaming the system. We might have to remove Nightbot from the Discord. You're gonna force me to to be a man of my word, and I can't abide that. That's awful. It is really blown out, ain't it? What if we turn this thing off? How is that? No. Not enough light now. I'll game your system. Shame. Shame, shame, shame on you. You know what? Is it better to just fucking turn on the auto exposure? Is it better just to do it this way? Right here? Is that better? Or is it still just hella washed out? It's kind of the same, right? I don't really see too much of a difference. Shame, shame. Shame, shame. What if we go higher exposure, less gain? What about right there? I think that looks a little better. Anyhow, I apologize that I'm just messing with that. The problem is I don't think to mess with that while I'm not streaming. I kind of just turn the computer off here and go hang out on the other computer, usually. A little bit of gray here and there, a little bit of highlights. Pow, pow, pow. These don't really need much. Alright, so Venom's done. Hand's better. Looks the same on tiny phone screen with sunglasses on. Well, there's your problem. It's the sunglasses. You just gotta wear those all the time. And then that's what they look like. It's just what reality looks like. Alright. That gets a little love. Where else do we have? All these little knobbly bits on the legs. Upwards facing areas. Get a little bit pow, pow. A little bit up there. A bit right there. Right there, right there. These with a little bit of love, a little bit of highlight, a little bit of shine on them. A bit here, a bit there, just right on top of that ball joint. Perfect. Bloodhound, highlighted. Who's next? Albatross. Nice venom. This is Kato Zilks did this one. We're running with 3 Kato Zilks sculpts. We've got Kato Zilks did my Albatross and the Tempest and the Venom. They're all pretty faithful to the artwork, which I really dig. We've got the Raijin, the Jingao, the Sagittaire, and Bloodhound by Highland Blues, and then we've got Sir Mortimer Bombito's Blitzkrieg here. I tried to do all the mechs from one sculptor, but it's not always easy to do. Alright, so I tried to pick chassis this time that were that would be interesting to collectors who maybe had a bunch of Catalyst minis. So that, you know, these are a bunch of things that Catalyst just hasn't got around to yet. And I thought it might appeal to people who want interesting mechs, who maybe don't want to go with Iron Wind metals. Of course, if it was for me, for my own personal collection, I'd go with the Iron Winds. I love the silly boys. I've got a fun lance planned with some Iron Wind metals soon. That is, it's a Helios, a Defiance, I think it's an Albatross, and there's one more silly boy. Oh, War Dog. What's up, people? Welcome, Tobias. I honestly don't think Catalyst will ever get to all the chassis. There's just so many of them. Yeah, exactly. It is true, and like their whole approach is pretty reliant on oh, I can't remember that sculptor's name. It's less people these days as compared to like all the work in the past from the Fossa eras, working with so many more sculptors. Let's see here. Don't I have a labeled mech up here? I thought I did. Here we go. We got like this Mad Cat by R. Care, and we've got this Rakshasa by Jay Johnson. Guthrie did some mechs too. I know she did the Firefly, and I'm pretty sure she did the old Jenner sculpt. Biscuits. Oh yes, the biscuits. The biscuit coins can be redeemed for all kinds of fun things, such as gambling or you know, gravy.
And a double helping of gravy.
They're biscuit coins. It is the, oh, what is it? The Cloudbot from Streamlabs does a payout every, I think it's every 5 minutes of like active participation in chat. And it lets you interrupt the stream. It's my ham-fisted attempt to get some of that sweet interaction that Twitch has. It's a shame YouTube has not been more about that. They've done the rank thing, the community leaderboard thing, but it is not quite the same. Miles at number 1, Iron Elemental number 2. I don't think it's working properly, because I'm pretty sure y'all would have gotten more than that at this point. But oh, thank you, another Nate. Yes. Okay, so Albatross is now highlighted. Let's get on to the Tempest. And we went with a alternating, I think it reset after the stream yesterday. It's goes stream by stream actually. Nate, I feel like y'all have chatted more than would be only 75 XP. Oh, look, we left out a panel. We left out a panel on this boy, which means we need a little bit of the other gray real quick. So I think if we slap this color on right here, by the time we loop back around from all the other highlights, that should be dry enough for a highlight. All right. Let's get this off camera. Try to get this in frame. Got some bad support scars on this one, unfortunately. I should have took a little more time to clean it up. But it's what I get for trusting Chitubox's auto supports instead of supporting it myself. Alright, we're going to highlight these knee pads. Just tracing the raised edges. Like, these are going to get kind of stomped back down when we do the sponge chipping anyways. So like with all the weathering, they don't have to be clean, like not even remotely clean. Well, that's not true. They have to be remotely clean, but not like super clean. We're not too concerned about it. They don't have to be crisp highlights. They're going to get sponge chipped and they are going to get washed down to hell in a great rainstorm. Like the Land of the Lost. I wish they would stop doing 3 new and a repeat in the force packs. It would go so much quicker if they did 4 at a time in the new scopes. Yeah, I agree. Honestly, my chief complaint with Catalyst is I want higher quality miniatures. I think that some of them are all right. I'd like to see the models in just more available in higher quality. The mold lines are... It's not that the mold lines are worse than any other lines, mold lines, right? You buy metal minis and they have mold lines, but Catalyst minis are pre-assembled, so that means they've been assembled with the mold lines, and the material they use is just really, really rough to remove it, and then their placement of the mold lines is generally right over top of details. I wish I didn't have mold lines. Yeah, well, I mean, mold lines are pretty much inescapable, but like, if I could get the minis in pieces, the mold lines would be a little easier to deal with. I'm really hoping that now that they've acquired Ironwood Metals, that we'll see more of those sculpts in metal available as actual models rather than board game pieces. Which Leah is known for doing, you know, board game pieces. And if you think about Battletech models as board game pieces, they're actually like fabulous board game pieces. They're really well done. But I think like thinking of them as models is a bit of a stretch, honestly. All right, 2 Chevaliers. Get these things done. I think what's next on these. I think that's all the details for the colors. So I think we're on to freehanding next. And I believe canonically for 3rd Proserpina Hussars, we have to do the blood limpet, the stylized blood limpet for the like what do you call it? The parent command. And then we have to do the bat for the 3rd. And then I want to put Draconis Combine symbols on them as well. So we're going to go with a triple freehand on all of these. I might even do a number on them. Okay, let's get our pack rat going on here. Oh, you know what? We got to do the black on the wheels of all our vehicles. That's what's next. That is what is next. Do our little checker pattern here for our pet. I cannot remember who sculpted this one, but it's a really nice, faithful design. Really pleased with this pack rat. Is that in frame? It is not in frame. The top and bottom, these I suppose. There we go. Yep, there we go. I'm not trying to murder myself on the highlights here. Honestly, I think I'm trying to get away with as little as possible. To tell you the truth. These are supposed to be for commercial sale. I seriously think the pre-assemblies have more to do with a couple things. One being ready to play, and the other being like the old license for. Yeah, I think so. I don't think that. I don't think they are aiming at people who build models. I think they're aiming at a broader audience. And I kind of see that in, well, the prevalence of gray models at the mini days. People buy them ready to play, and they throw them on the table and they play, and they never paint them. They never treat them like minis. So it's interesting. Like, I kind of think their pre-paints is a really good idea, but I don't think they should be like put in the other boxes. Dust 1947. They didn't make it out of the pandemic, unfortunately, but they had a system of miniatures where you buy the models in three different types. There was like one box had the miniatures like pre-assembled and pre-primed. One box had the miniatures pre-painted, like machine quality pre-paints. And then you could also buy like the collector's edition model set, which was a model set, like unassembled raw plastic miniatures. And I think if Battletech had that kind of model, I think that would be really awesome. They do resin, not ready to play, but it's worse. Yeah, I got this one I'm working on here. So my experience with the Black Knight, the premium Black Knight, has been like it's a little easier to clean up, but I see some issues. Like this gun barrel was warped. Their material is weird. Like their resin is kind of grainy. I don't like the material, and they left these weird bubbles on the arms. It's like it's like this part was just pulled right out of Blender without any thought of making it into a proper mini. You know what? It just hit me. Our Tempest needed a little bit of gray up here. Needs a bit of gray there. And we left out a little bit of metallic on it. It needs to get added back in. We'll do that in a moment. All right. More little highlights. Our galleons. Got a few panels to highlight. Right here. We're just going to trace all the edges. Bam, done. And then we're going to hit kind of the top of these little turbine intakes. Bam, bam. We got these little gray things on the top. They'll get a little bit of love. This thing too, we'll trace the top, not the bottom, because it's so small. Same here, we'll trace the top, not the bottom. And then we'll do the other side. Right here. Top, not the bottom. And boom. That's done. Next. Let's run a little bit of paint right. Trace those edges. A little bit of edging work. You know, I say I'm not much of an edger, but I would say my experience in miniatures kind of belies that claim. Nothing but dick jokes around here, non-stop. We're very mature, you know. Very, very mature. Okay. Forgot the Blitzkrieg. One more highlighting there. Across the top of that. Hit that top edge. This one's got nice, crisp edges. It's funny, I really love Bombito's work. I do not like Bombito's pre-supports. He puts way too many supports on his models. This one has all kinds of support scarring on the back end. As with the rest on the upward facing edges, just going to try to create a little definition. Little separation between the high and low areas, a little bit of false shadows. Again, we're gonna lose a lot of this once we start sponge chipping, and especially once we put the enamel wash on. We can't do any of that yet. We got to do all the freehanding before we chip, and then we'll do the the varnish, and then maybe we'll get to that today. I'm hoping so. I want to get these guys up on the store as soon as possible. Nuh-uh. You nuh-uh. Mm-mm. Or as TTS Lady would say, nuh-uh. Let's run that. A little bit of highlight there. A little bit of highlight here. Little highlight here. Some on this end. Bam. Over here as well. You know, should I have done metallic caps on the hubs? I think so. I think we're gonna dig back out our metallics here in a moment. We got two anyways for the Tempest. Let's highlight that. Bam. Dude, we're flying through this gray today. I'm feeling mannequin inspired. Is that in frame? I hope so. Now, a little bit here, a little bit there. That whole edge. This whole edge. This is Locust Labs UCT artillery version. I think it's loosely based on the hempt. Not even loosely. I think it is just straight up a hempt. Hemmet? Is that what it's called? Is that how you say it? I think it's a hemmet, actually. Okay. We're going to go back to our jet exhaust. We're going to get out our dry palette here. Bam. One drop. Let's swap back to our other 3.0 liner. And what did we have to do? We got to do... I think that's going to work. We got to do our hubs. Our wheel hubs here. And this fabulous Vallejo metal color should cover in a single coat. Although I think the coverage over green is similar to its performance with its coverage over red. Not super great, but good enough. And that's kind of what we're going for. Good enough is good enough, you know? Other side. I'm using a technique that I used to use quite a bit with apple barrel paints. Kind of like pottery glazing. Kind of like pottery glazing. I'm just carefully puddling the paint on the area that needs to be covered so that it has a really nice thick single layer coat without any need to go back in, without any color shining off it underneath. And since we're going back in with the black, I'm not too stressed about spillover, though I am trying to avoid any spillover. We're going to hit this with Nuln Oil right after this. Alright, but we can't do that technique on our Tempest. We're going to have to be a little more reserved with our application here. Alright, Tempest gets that down. Who's next? Ah, yes, ads. That's what's... If they wanted it to be pronounced Hemet, they should have put an I in him. Yeah, I agree. But I think they do pronounce it Hemet. I'm pretty sure that's how the folks do. Okay, these metallics need to be dry enough to put on a null oil coat. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna hop up, I'm gonna fill my coffee cup. I'm going to turn this box fan a little bit so it's not pointed right at me, and then I'll be right back. So I'm going to put y'all on the BRB screen for just a moment, and I'll be back in like 60 seconds. I think I'm also going to put this knife away before I step on it. Coming back, I'm here. I got coffee. We're gonna dive right back in. Okay, again, we want our dry palette. Nuh-uh. Welcome, Surveillance Wizard. Hope you're doing well. I'm gonna do a little bit of null oil. I don't need much. Probably about that much. I don't even think we'll need that much there. We're hoping that our metallics are dry enough. They do not appear to be quite dry enough. But let's put some on one and just experiment. Is that pulling metallics off? No, I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Besides, we're kind of filling the gap in the rim with this anyways. More so than brushing it directly onto the hub. Blast this stuff right over top. I think it's dry enough. If it's not, it'll pull a little metallic into the wash, but whatever. This is all going to be covered over pretty substantially with our grime. And I think these fellers are going to get our winter streaking grime. It's our color of choice. I just think that the rust streaks might be a little too much. Too much. We might just do streaking grime, honestly. I think it does have a little bit of the brown tones that we're after. How dry is that? Yeah, you know what? That's dry enough. That is dry enough. Who's responsible for this? Oh no. The long dong of Tom. The long dong of Tom, yes. Vance was says, naked on the beach for some reason. It takes longer to leave the beach than that way than to get onto it. Ah, yes. If anything, they should be called Hemat, as the M stands for mobility. I need to head out, so I will leave y'all with the Davion war crime. Ah, yes. Well, it's not a war crime if it's the Davions, of course. Also, Pleasure chatting with you, Unicorn Company. Hope you're doing well in all your endeavors. If y'all don't know about Unicorn Company, I highly encourage you to check them out. Doing some really cool stuff for the BattleTech community at large. Big recommend. Until they fix the acronym and all use the letters. Yes, it is pronounced Hemet. Yes, confirmed. They're allowed to be both wrong and dumb. Yes. That is true in this world. You are allowed to be both wrong and dumb. I'm okay with this. I am often wrong and dumb. And perfectly fine with it. Let's do a little research about our third Proserpina Hussars. We're going to reconfirm on the camo specs page. Oh my god, I forgot this website is cancer. Hold on. We need to open it in Firefox so my ad blocker works. And we're going to go to third Proserpina Hussars and pop it on here so that it doesn't blast me with all the ads. Here we go. Proserpina Hussars Brigade insignia is a stylized rendition of 3 blood limpets in a field of green. Here it is. The blood limpet crest appears on the 3rd Hussars machine's upper right legs, and unit members paint the regimental insignia of the bat on their upper left arms. Okay, so upper right leg for the blood limpet. Let's do that first. We're gonna go. We're going to go. Proserpina Hussars. And pop it on Sarna. So we want this symbol right here on the upper right leg. Upper right leg. On a field of green. Do we need to do the whole like green gradient thing, you think? Like a little square with these colors? I think we kind of need to. Because we have the stripes that we need to kind of paint over. Or at least create some definition. Yeah. I think we'll try to go on the side of the legs too. It looks like just about every machine will be able to take it on the side of the leg. The Bloodhound might be a little bit of a problem, but we can just paint it really small on that one. Okay, yeah, I think a square here with this color gradient, and then we'll do the 3 limpets on it.
We're talking about the thug.
We are talking about the thug.
Terrible. H is for
I
hell.
joined the Discord,
U is for ugly, and G is
so
for
feel free to
jail.
message
Cause
me about the slug.
thug
Oh heck yeah, I will hit you up, most definitely. We'll do flat green into. Is this a yellow? Is this a yellow, or is this more like an olive gradient? It's a bit yellowy, right? I don't know. It's kind of. I think it's kind of more tan. What if we did? Let's do a test. We'll do that into gray. That's too much. Can we get away with ivory? No, ivory's too much. I need like I think like dark sand, but I think this is pretty much empty. Is it Middlestone? Are we using Middlestone today? I think we're using Middlestone. I think we are using Middlestone. I think that's exactly what we're doing.
Butter my biscuits.
I think it's exactly what we're doing. Wait, is that today's push-ups? No, today's push-ups are over there. All right, let's put out our flat green. So we're going for like a different green than we used before. And I think we're using Middlestone. I think that's the color. Plus, any excuse to use this color after it defeated me so hard in our goblin paint up. So I think our setup is going to be bam. We'll go that into this. I think that's it, y'all. Straight up. Yeah, you know, it's not quite yellow enough. It's close. It's really, really close. I need this, but with more yellow. Middlestone sounds like the right direction. It really does. It needs a little more yellow in it. I wonder if I have like could it be khaki gray? No, not yellow enough. I'm really, yeah. I'm floundering here. I don't want to just go green to yellow. I think that's too much. It looked more like a... Is it yellow ochre? Is that what we're going with here? That looks closer, honestly. Let's take our green. We'll do our little square. And we're going to pull it down into yellow ochre at the bottom. I think that's it. I think it's our gradient. It still wants a little more bright yellow. Fuck, it's dark sand. It's dark sand. I hope I have enough in the dark sand to do it. I have buff. I wonder if buff would do it. Let's try it. Buff is a little too white. I think it's dark sand. Keep standing up again and again. I just don't think there's enough in here to do it. Let's see. I don't even think I can get a drop out of this fucking thing. Yeah, I'm wrong. Okay. You know, dark sand and dark sand might actually be too not yellow. Dude, am I just gonna have to use a yellow color? That's so boring though. How about, I just realized too that because this is a white surface, y'all ain't really seeing it. Let's just try lemon yellow. I don't like it, but I think that's where we're at. See, it's like really bright yellow, but what if we went green into Middlestone? Green into Middlestone. Right? Do our Middlestone right there. Into yellow. That's really pretty close to it, actually. Alright, that's what we're doing. That's our setup. Middlestone is the right direction, but it needs more yellow. So we're doing, where'd I set it? We're going middle stone. Let's do our green. Our nice little flat green. And we're going pretty thin with this. There we go. Let's mix it up. Now we'll do that. Get a fresh painting yellows with yellow. Gross. Yeah, well it's like I need a tan ass yellow, you know? But I need it more yellow than ochre. And then we're gonna do middle stone here. And we're gonna put out some of this yellow. I think that's enough. Put a little bit of water in that. And we'll thin our middle stone. And we'll start working in our lemon yellow here. That just disappeared. Okay. So the middle stone is going to overwhelm this yellow. We're going to have to hella compensate. Middle stone plus a little yellow. Yeah. Alright. And then I think we'll keep this yellow right here for mixing. Okay, and now we can worry about the black later. And just to doubly confirm, they are the upper right leg. The blood limpet crest appears on the 3rd Hussars machine's upper right legs. Okay, so I'm going to go back to our nice sharp 3.0 liner. And I think all these mechs are going to start out with a nice green square field. Yeah, I could go ahead and do the blend on each of them. Go ahead and do the blend. Nice little gradient. Lay it down. Keep the paint kind of thick. And we're gonna wet blend it right here on the surface. Extra thick. Yeah, there we go. And we end up with like a nice green, kind of deep green field. Alright, we're just going to go around the mech. I don't know if we're going to put it on the vehicles, to be honest.
I am the cream, yeah. The cream of the crop. And there is no one that does it better!
Let's put our middle stone at the bottom.
Well, you want to woo woo? It's that woo woo.
It's that woo.
You know what I'm saying?
woo,
It's not
you
even
know
Some
what I'm
neighbors are saying way too loud.
That's only in the morning.
Man, what
You're
a...
supposed to be up cooking breakfast or somebody, and so that's like an alarm clock. Woo woo.
You know, I think what bugs me the most about that clip is when he says, "It's only in the mornings," you know what I'm saying? And then someone in the background agrees with him. And it's like, Bubba, have you no empathy?
Bye, everyone. She can go on forever.
Are you devoid of empathy, Mr. Bub Rub? I think we all know the answer. The answer is yes, but I think his enthusiasm has just overwhelmed that sense of empathy is all. All right, we got our field there. I owe somebody push-ups. I didn't see who it was. Oh wait, didn't the middle stone yellow not thin correctly? Yes. When thinned to glaze consistency, it breaks. It breaks really bad. Christmas gobbo brings back memories. Yeah, it's glaze. If you're not glazing, it works really well. All right, owe you 10. I'm gonna give you 10. Hit the dirt. Hit the dirt. Do push-ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Coming back. Coming back. Fatty does push-ups. How? That's only 20 today. Weehaw. You got it, dog. Next. Spider gets one. Right here, it's not a spider, it's a venom. Nice thick. Nice thick square. Pull out our middle stone. Blend that up. Who goes there?
Comstar Knight donated a $4.99 super chat. Have some sea bills. Also, it's time to be
Thank you so much for the generous dono. You need to give that venom some tongue? I don't know. I don't know about all that. Tongue and teeth, you say? Alright, this guy gets a little square. Just a little square. The tiniest little square. We come in with our middle stone. Our middle stone and yellow mix right there. Boom. We'll blend it up. Our flat green is kind of crapping out on us. Nice little blend there. Boom. Little square. Who's next? The Raijin. Raijin gets a square, but it's kind of coming down at a weird angle. So we're going to put it right here. Like that. Bam, like so. And we're going to pull out our yellow. I'm going to blend it right in the middle. Lovely. 3 more to go. Bloodhound's gonna be a problem. Bloodhound's gonna be a serious problem, so we have to make this one extra tiny. Right there. Boom. Then we're gonna take our middle stone and we're gonna slap it on there. Now, this one stays very small. Unfortunately, it's got to be tiny. All right, Jingao, also kind of small. Did you guys hear that moped go by just now? Jingao. This actually needs a little bit more of the yellow in it, I think. There we go. And then our Sagittarius can get a nice chunky one. Right here. Boom. Big square. It does say on a green field. Get that nice bit at the bottom. Remove the excess from the brush, and then we're going to come in, we're going to start swirling them colors together until they get a nice, like, kind of half-ass decent blend. Now, the question is, are the vehicles deserving of this? And I think the answer is fucking no. I think they're going to be way too tiny to achieve it. So we're going to skip the Hussars regimental, like, parent company symbol on them. We might try to do the bat on them, but they're definitely going to get the Draconis symbol. Iron Element says, I'm going to be off to sleep. See you later, guys. You have a fucking lovely sleep, mister. I hope you have pleasant dreams about peace. Pissabede. Pissabede. Neg, not wearing my good ears. Alright, next up, we're going with black gray instead of black, because I think it's a little more interesting. And we do need to thin it some. So we're going to put a little bit of water down. Boom, bam. This is kind of performing like almost like an ink. All right, we're gonna do these in the reverse order, I guess. Not reverse order, same order we just did. We'll just blast back through them. All right, so is it 2 on top or 1 on top? I can't remember. Proserpina Hussars. Proserpina Hussars. 1 on top, 2 on the bottom. Okay. Here we go. Coming in on our boy. And we're just going to start with dots. Just start with dots at first. And then we're going to elongate those dots into dashes that are all about the same size. And then we're going to widen them into like kind of a half-ass plus shape. And then we're going to turn them into lozenges. I need my magnifier. that light working? Kinda. Kinda, right? Okay. Alright. Alright, so we get in there with the magnifiers on. Yeah, that's honestly, in my old age now, magnifiers are a must. Honestly, that's fucking good enough. I think we have to widen this field a little bit to accommodate where we got them a little off center. So we'll do that real quick. But that's fine. That looks decent to me. Y'all probably can't see that at all. I think the arm is obscuring it some. Alright, there's the Hussar symbol on one. Next, let's do this Bloodhound. This one's going to be rough. I think we're literally just going for dots here. I can't even see our field. I need to come in and do the... redo the bottom of it so we can kind of have see what the fuck we're doing. This is so small I just can't even. I can't even. I think we need a smaller brush for this one. Maybe not. Actually, we'll set it down and deal with the Blitzkrieg in the meantime. I think these are just straight up dots at this point, honestly. Really. These are just going to be dots. Dot. 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 Not enough paint on the brush. Shit. Gotta hit the same spots again. Dot. 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 Okay, that one's on there. Next. Honestly, I think regardless of age, magnifiers are a must. You'll strain your eyes and keep them in better condition over time. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. You're not wrong. And now in my age, like it's they're becoming a must. Somebody's yelling for Ross. Y'all can believe it. This one is also basically just dots. Put a little more detail than just dots. They're more like dashes. But it's there. We do the symbol. Who's next? Venom. Venom is next. Same deal here. I think you're getting basically just dots. God damn it. That was a giant blob of paint. Let's set you off to the side for a moment there, mister. I think I got an especially thin part of the paint there. Alright, so this one we can probably put a little more detail. So I think we're actually going for lozenges here. yeah, there we go. Actually, this is another one of those. I got it a little close to the side, so we're actually gonna extend the field a little bit to compensate. There we go, bring that down. We're gonna add in a little bit of our middle stone at the bottom. Blend it up some. Looks good to me. Hussars. Alright, this one's gonna be a little bit tricky, I think. But we can do the same thing. I think this lad gets actual lozenges. Just about lozenges at least. Good enough. As good as I'm gonna get it. Slide it off to the side. Next. Catapult looks like another dots. Another dots mech. Maybe dashes. Honestly, you just get them on there and like, that's fucking good enough. Here we go, Bloodhound. Let's try again. The tiniest little spots. I can't even see this. Dot, dot, dot. This is actually just dots. Little triangle shape of dots. Boom, boom, boom. 3 of them. Next, Venom. This field is a little bit of a mess on this boy, so we're going to clean that up. We're going to re-clarify the bottom of it with this here middle stone. I'm going to blend that front. I got a little blobby on the side, so I need to go back to the original color, which was somewhere. I don't know what I did with the colors. It wasn't refractive green, it was German camo green, and I don't know what the fuck I've done with it. Probably across the room where I was talking with someone about the colors, unless this is it right here. Luftwaffe camo green. Okay, there it is. We can clean this boy up. Boom. Pretend like that doesn't exist. All right. So we're going to dig back in with renewed vigor. These ones are almost lozenges. There's 3 little dots. 3 little like elongated dots. They're on there though. Okay, so from here, what we want to do is our 3rd Proserpina Hussars, and I want the, nope, that is the wrong page. I want the 3rd Proserpina Hussars Sarna page. Please let me have fucking cursor. I want the Sarna page. Because now we have to do this logo. How do we do this symbol? How do we break this down? How do we break this down, y'all? I think what we do is we create the circle first, and then we do like a little bit of a brown black blend. We kind of just reduce this to a shape, to like this little V shape, and then we put a little brown in it, and that's all there is to it, really. Okay, so I do recall that it is on the upper left arm. So what color do we do that moon? I wonder if we can get away with the middle stone yellow blend. I think that's actually it, straight up. Yeah, let's try that. Yellow and middle stone blend right there on the arm. And we are going to reduce this to its basic shapes. Very much reduced to basic shapes. We'll do... Holy shit. Am I just stupid? Am I stupid? Hold on. I might be stupid. I may have screwed up. Big time. It's left arm. Okay. About to screw up real bad. Alright. So let's get in and try to scrub that off before it sets. Let's use a thicker brush. Yes. Use the enzymatic action of my mouth to remove that. I'm just a dummy. It's upper right arms. How about that, y'all? I don't know my right from my left. What stopped me is I recall that it's supposed to be the opposite, and I saw that it was going on the same side as the logo. Not that I know my right from my left, because obviously I don't. This one's gonna get one right there, I think. Just gonna do a nice little circle. I think we might even go in and highlight these with the lemon yellow. Alright, upper arms. It was upper arms specifically. Okay. I think this one's going to go right here. Now, I do think that the vehicles probably should get the third symbol on them. I could maybe get away with just the Draconis symbol on the vehicles. We might just do that. Something interesting happening with the Tempest here. I think the logo would be here. And it's going to be buried underneath the motion of his arm. So we're going to put it there. That one's tough. That one's really, really tough. Okay. Raijin doesn't really have arms. So we'll put it on this, like, this bulbous thingamabob up here. Pretty sure these are supposed to be the arms. Next, Blitzkrieg definitely doesn't have arms, so we're gonna put it right here, I think. And then the Albatross gets it right there as well. And honestly, so I'm planning on putting a Draconis symbol on the opposite side. So I think our vehicles do need to get the, I think our vehicles do indeed need the little moon on them. So we're gonna come in and we're gonna put little circles somewhere kind of on the front. Yeah. If it makes sense, we'll put them where it makes sense. Maybe doors, maybe front, maybe top, depending on what vehicle. Like this pack rat, I left out a gray panel here. Let's see, is this wet enough to use? I think it is. I left out a gray panel on our pack rat. I'm gonna fix that real quick, like. I really don't know where to put it on the pack rat, honestly. Do a little highlight on this. Pack rat's gonna get the symbol right here above the thing that says LRP. Very small symbols. We'll have to come back in with the 20-0 to do the details on them. Yeah. I just don't want to put the, like this would be the obvious spot. I just don't want to put the logo onto gray if I can help it. Chevalier. I think the symbol's going to go on this angled panel right here. Right on the front. All right, sick. Little moons. How about our darter? I think the darter gets it on the rear door. Rear door? Or front door? I think the rear doors, because they're a little bigger. That's a tough call. I think the front door makes more sense. But the rear door has more space. We'll do the front door. It's got to be the front door. Just like logically it makes more sense. Because those front doors open forward, so if you're like, if you get the doors open for cover, you're aggressively putting your regiment symbol. The artillery piece. I think it goes right on these forward-facing panels. Right here. Now, it's 18 little circles. Alright, now we gotta come back in and do little bats on all of these little circles. And I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna reduce it down to the bare minimum. So it's just gonna be like a little V. And what we'll do is we'll switch over to a new brush, a brand new sharp brush for this. Make sure it's got a nice sharp tip. The size of the brush matters less than the size of the tip here, I think. And we're gonna use that same dark gray we used before. No, we're not. We're using black brown. We're using black brown. I'm gonna thin it out a bit. Thin it out just a bit. And we're gonna pull that symbol back up. Where is that at? Going for this little bottom left to top right. I'll keep my reference nearby. We're gonna blast back through them. Blast back through everybody. All right, black, brown. And we're just gonna come in. And we're gonna do a little zip, zap. Zip, zap, that's it, boom, done. Tempest is a bit of a problem, but I think we can make it work. Comes from here to there and then back up under the arm. Perfect. Next, I think this is a great example of like, sometimes you have to reduce a symbol to its constituent parts. Like, what are you actually going to detail on that? You know what I mean? That's so fucking tiny. Same here. We're going to come in. Little zip to there. And then we're going to come up the other end. Maybe widen out the wings a little bit. That's like, that's a fucking, you know, that's a bat. It's a bat shape. Same here. Bounce. Can do exactly the same thing. Little stroke coming off this way. Little body. Back up and off the top. Maybe try to shape it more into wings, but who cares, you know? As long as it sells the idea to your viewer, it's exactly what you want. The scale that I'm gonna have to do this on the other ones, on the vehicles, is maddening. I think it pays to remember that when you're attempting your own freehands. You're selling the idea to your viewer. I mean, obviously do it to the best of your ability, but if you can break your freehand down to its constituent shapes, you have a better time of it. I mean, heck, think about it. Like, even like, imagine you got a really super detailed painting of the beach, and there are birds flying over the ocean like a fucking mile away. They are gonna look like the kid's drawing of a bird. You know, just the little curvy V shape, just like this bat here, just like that Jade Falcon logo I did on the left. Exactly constituent shapes. Boom, bat. Trying not to break the model here. This one, I don't even think I can get more than like a line with a dot on it. Ow. Boom, bat. Good enough. I'm not even gonna muck about with them. Should I still need to come back in on these pack rats and highlight where it says LRP? Bat. Right? It looks like a fucking bat. Little stroke. That's it. Done. Next. Before you know it, you'll have 18 freehands of your own. Wow, bat. Boom. Is this the last one? This is the last one. Okay, who's next? Next is little Draconis Combine symbols. And we're gonna use my fist on red. Same deal. Let's get the Draconis Combine. Draconis Combine. Images. Bam. Here's our target. A little bit of red. Good enough. Slap that on. We're gonna go opposite side. But keeping them on the arms. So, just making sure that it's the opposite exactly. I'm just gonna come in with little red circles times 18. Little red circle. You can go a little bigger than that here. Honor the dragon. Other side. Is that in frame? No, that is not even remotely close to in frame. Red. Red. This one, same deal. It's in a kind of problematic spot because of a detail right here, but you know, when did a panel line stop us from putting a decal on? You know, it's the same with our freehand. You can go right over that panel detail like it ain't even nothing. Same deal, right y'all. Our symbol will be the nipple of our shoulder boob. Fucking weird ass Raijin. You know, it's funny, I really loved this sculpt until I looked at it in Blender, like really, really up close. Alright, spider. You're not even a spider, you're a venom. Next, this guy gets one. Gotcha. I think what we'll do is we'll do this freehand, and then maybe we'll do the sponge chipping, and I will spray these boys on my own time off stream. So we're looking at 3 hours now. Good progress. Heckin' great work. Big thanks to folks for coming out and checking out what's going on. You all rock. I hope you're finding something useful in the process and ramblings. Little circles all around. I'm completely out of frame too. Really riveting content. Do a little circle about the same size. The galleon does have this little like hole that could be filled here on the one side entirely, but I really want the symbols to be about the same size. Much prog, such. Yes, yes. Boom, that goes there. Let's see. Can I do...
Yeah, you do workout.
I do.
Give me 10.
Okay.
Who's responsible for this? Let's make it. You got it.
Bye, everyone. She can go on forever.
And you know, actually with that, I was actually just thinking, we're 5 minutes out from the 3-hour mark. I think we might call it here. I think we've sufficiently waffled about camera issues and painting, and I think I've adequately demonstrated kind of the woes of doing small scale freehand. At this point, I'm going to go back through these models, and we're going to do another 18 little passes. In this case, I'm going to do 18 little black S's on top of these red dots. Next up is to do that. We're going to black out the wheels on the vehicles with wheels. We're going to probably paint little numbers somewhere on the vehicles. Maybe not the vehicles. The mechs for sure will get numbers. And those numbers are going to go opposite the Hussars logo. And then we're going to hit these with the gloss varnish. Hit them with the gloss varnish. And I'm going to completely soak them with streaking grime. They're going to get completely coated with this stuff. And they'll sit for a few hours. I'll remove most of it. And then I'll go back in with lens jeweling. And I think what we'll do for lens jeweling is red. It makes the most sense. But instead of trying to rush through it, we're 2 minutes out from 3 hours in. I'm going to call this at a nice 3-hour stream. Continue to paint today. I'll post some pictures on the Discord. If you yourself out there want to get your hands on this set, keep an eye on it. Keep an eye out on eBay. If you want to throw some money at the channel and get some cool mechs for your investment. There's also some other stuff coming out. I've got this fabulous set of Harlock's Warriors coming up. Those are going to go on the eBay store soon. And then I'll be releasing another lance of Arizona iced tea mechs. So keep an eye for that. And who knows what else. Check out the eBay store. I'm Country Fried Minis on eBay, so yeah, check it out. If you want to throw money at the channel to keep it afloat, consider joining up as a member for as little as $1 a month. You can have access to a fun little badge next to your name, biscuit-based emojis, and of course priority consideration for joining our Tabletop Tuesday events. Make sure to sign up, and of course like, comment, subscribe, all that fucking YouTube stuff. More stuff coming soon. Yeah. Anyhow, my ADHD is fucking calling, and I'm gonna turn this stream off and catch y'all later. Maybe even on the Discord. Make sure to check out the Dicks in the Dark tonight. They're gonna be streaming in about 2 hours, and I'll be over there in the chat. We can go harass those gentlemen. Anyhow, that's all I got for today. Bye-bye! This stream has been brought to you by the Country Fried Minis community. You guys are really the best.
Yeah. Would you do a workout?
I do.
Give me 10.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Rest assured, Miss
She can go
Renee,
on
I will do
forever.
those push-ups. Thank you very much.